To kick off pregame show on 103.9 The Fox. Brought to you by
Zender Robinson, Stormer Cookson Funeral Home.
Good evening and welcome to Flynn Stadium. It's the home opener for the 2013 Blue Devils season. I'm Sean Secrease along with Jim Hansen, Blue Devil legend. Jim, the Blue Devils were able to pick up a win last week to start off the season, 34-13 over East Moline. It was a game that started all East Moline for the first 9 minutes, but the Devils put it together after that, rolled up 34 unanswered points before a garbage time touchdown for the Panthers. Now the Devils have to come home and contend with a team in Peoria, Notre Dame, that they haven't taken on since the year 2000. It's a Peoria Notre Dame program that's on the upswing again. And as a matter of fact, they won in week 1 over Peoria Ridgewoods, a very talented program, and that's after graduating several key members from last year's quarterfinal team that went to the 4A Elite 8, as it were. So it'll be a tough road for the Devils at home tonight against Peoria Notre Dame.
Yeah, and I don't think the Devils can start as slow as they did last week against East Moline, especially on defense. They're going to have to be sound up front, and we need the offense to get out quickly and early. As you said, this Peoria Notre Dame team beat Ridgewoods last week, who 2 years ago played in the state title game, and last year had a running back who went to Illinois, had won 20 consecutive games in that conference. So this is certainly no slouch that's coming in here week 2 for the Blue Devils home opener.
You might think, how did Peoria Notre Dame get that done against Ridgewoods last week? It was a bit of an odd game in that it ended 11-9. That was a defensive-dominated game. And the star in that game for Peoria Notre Dame is their star tailback, Luke Shadid. He didn't have an offensive touchdown last week, but he had the interception and set him up for the game-winning 22-yard field goal as time expired for that upset win over Ridgewoods. Shadid had 1,155 yards last year, second in the Mid-State 6 Conference, second only to that young man from Ridgewood who ended up at Illinois. We'll talk about him as the night goes on. So Shadid's a big threat for them out of the backfield.
Yeah, and they got some players on offense. Their quarterback, DeMarco Washington, who's a junior, and big number 44, Jake Hurst, who's a 6'4", 227-pound tight end linebacker. This is a solid offensive club Peoria Notre Dame has, and we're going to need a solid performance from our defense here tonight.
It's also a carbon copy situation this evening, in that both offenses will run out of the wing tee primarily. The Blue Devils' best secondary look is the power I that they showed off last week, and after its success, I know Coach Little wants to run more of that this week. As for Peoria Notre Dame, their second look is, ironically, a spread attack. They'll throw those backs out of the backfield and look to go to the air on the arm of Washington. It's two different looks, and frankly, one that burned the Devils last week when the Panthers of East Moline decided to go to the air. Devils gave up 69 yards on 5 of 12 passing from East Moline's park, but it was key third down completions that kept East Moline in this game and kept the Blue Devils from really putting it away early and taking everything away from the Panthers. Jim, it was a case that the Blue Devils have fought for the last couple of years, and that's giving up big first downs on 3rd and longs.
You know, it's a killer, and tonight, this quarterback for Peoria Notre Dame, not only does he have size, he has speed, and he's elusive. You're going to have to contain him on the corners, and we cannot have, the 3rd and 13 conversions like you saw last week, and they got to stay away from some of those dumb penalties they also had early. Those are just killers, and against a team as good as Peoria Notre Dame, you can't have that and just give them that extra opportunity to keep the ball, to make a first down, to keep a drive going. You need to get that offense of theirs off the field as quick as you can.
Talked it over with Rick Little this week, the head coach of the Blue Devils. He said he felt it would be an easy cleanup in the pass defense because he said the majority of those problems were communications, where one half of the team was in one coverage and the other half was in a different coverage. It was just a case of being on the same page at the same time. More mental errors than physical. We'll see if Peoria Notre Dame tests the Blue Devils through the air tonight. Both these teams come in at 1-0 on the season. How did the Blue Devils get there? We'll have last week's highlights coming up. We'll also talk it over with Rick Little in the pregame, and Jim will have his keys to victory, all as we count down to kickoff on 103.9 The Fox.
Do your loved ones know your last?
All right, you got 30 here. We'll do the pre-show. And the
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
Blue Devils and Peoria Notre Dame's Fighting Irish. I'm Sean Secrease along with Jim Hansen. If you're listening this evening, we invite you to watch tonight's game with us thanks to QuincyJournal.com. It's QJTV and it's available to you tonight. If you have your smartphone with you wherever you're at, you want to stream video and watch along with us, or if you're at home and would like to watch the game as well, a TV-like experience, all you have to do is go to QuincyJournal.com. A tab right at the top will say QJTV. Click on that, and you can watch tonight's video complete with our broadcast of the Blue Devils here on 103.9 The Fox. We'll talk it over with head coach Rick Little coming up next as we count down to kickoff on 103.9 The Fox.
What is really important when it comes to planning a funeral?
Okay, 2 minutes here, Bo, and then Rick's intro, and I've got the audio to play here.
We at Zander Robinson Storm.
You want to do the pregame show intro before Rick,
not
or
necessarily better.
You can just come back with his.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
A lot about your team tonight against the team that went far in the state tournament last year.
Yeah, quality team, and whenever you can beat Peoria Richwoods, I mean that's a quality win, and I certainly. But I mean, from a coaching standpoint, I don't mind that. I like the fact that our defense is comfortable. Hopefully, and hopefully they see what they read what they see and see what they hit.
You got a new star on defense that came into the district. We talked about him last week, Malik Bonin, during the game. What did you see on film from the newcomer after 1 week?
Well, just that he was, his presence was felt, no question. He had the ability to make hits, and when he did it, it's like, I call it like that alley-oop, that slam dunk in basketball. It's more than 2 points. It's worth more than a tackle. It gets the defense energized, and it gets the crowd energized, and those types of hits and energy brings energy to your football team. So we're glad to have him, and hopefully he does the same tonight.
I know you worked on some more of that power eye with him this week. We'll look forward to seeing more of that tonight. Congratulations on the Week 1 win. Now go out and get one here in Week 2.
Hey, thanks so much.
We'll have more from Coach Little after the game. We'll continue the countdown to kickoff next on 103.9 The Fox.
Look, someone left their magical lamp behind.
All right, how long you want here?
I am the super magical genie of the lamp. Here to grant you any wish you'd like. With the exception of more wishes, eternal life, or property tax.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
The countdown to kickoff continues with Jim Hanson's three-point stance.
Welcome back to Flynn Stadium. Rather warm evening for a September football game, Sean. But as we look to the keys for the game tonight, it's kind of cliche. You heard Coach Little talk about it, but in a big game like this early in the season, I think a couple obvious things are going to come into play to the outcome here. That is, one, field possession. The special teams has to be key. Peoria Notre Dame has a fantastic kicking game. We have to be able to sustain our punt coverage, our punt return, and kickoff coverage, and also try and pin them deep. If every kickoff we get from them is starting at the 20, it makes for a long field. I think the second thing is turnovers / penalties. Whatever team comes out of here tonight turning the ball over the least amount of times and doesn't have those 15-yard or 10-yard big penalties to kill a drive will also come out on top. And the third thing I think for the Devils tonight, they have to get momentum and have to have big plays from somebody. You expect Malik Robbins to do it, but you got to have somebody on both sides of the ball step up for the Devils tonight and make a play to keep the crowd into it and turn the momentum for the Devils. So this is a tough test. It is a solid team they're going against tonight.
Can I add one to your list of needs for a win tonight? How about win the turnover battle? This is a Blue Devil team that had two big takeaways. Yes, they had the interception late, but that was mostly garbage time when East Moline got the interception. So the Blue Devils were really +2 when the game was being decided last week. And then Peoria Notre Dame had the interception to set up their final drive to kick the field goal as time expired. I think turnovers and winning that battle is going to be big.
Absolutely. And, especially if this comes down to a one-possession football game, a turnover like that makes all the difference. And just sitting up here watching this Peoria Notre Dame offense, they got some athletes. Their quarterback is 6'3", 210. They got a tight end at 6'4", 227. They got some size, some speed, some skill. And, it's going to be a battle tonight. And we left out the trenches, but that's also going to be important, who controls the line of scrimmage.
So it's two 1-0 teams getting set to kick off here at Flynn Stadium. The home opener for the Blue Devils comes up next on 103.9 The Fox.
I remember my first car.
All right, what do you need?
Go 90 seconds and then give me the kickoff sounder, and we'll take it for game action from there.
And I'll never forget.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
Quincy High Blue Devil season. Sean Secrease along with Jim Hansen. Bo Beecraft producing in the studio tonight. The junior varsity game lasted quite a while. The Devils were up 37-0. Couldn't quite get it into running clock territory, and then a couple of injuries at the end of the game set it back. And so we're a little bit late with our kickoff here this evening. A warm but livable evening for the beginning of September as we have two 1-0 teams about to clash on the Big Q at Flynn Stadium. The Blue Devils come into this one 1-0 off of a 34-13 win on the road at East Moline last week. It was an early touchdown from Vroman that got things started for East Moline. After that, the Blue Devils kicked it into high gear literally on a 74-yard kickoff return by Malik Robbins. That set the pace, and the Devils went on to score 34 unanswered points, put that game away in the third quarter on the road at the Soul Bowl. We'll keep an eye on the other Western Big Six games going on around the conference this evening as Bo feeds them to us from the 103.9 The Fox Command Center. For Peoria Notre Dame, they're also 1-0. They pulled off something that no Peoria City team has been able to do in the last year and a half, and that is beat Peoria Richwoods. Richwoods had a 20-game win streak against the other Peoria City schools in the Mid-State 6, but that all came to an end last week when Peoria Notre Dame's Fighting Irish put up a hard-fought 11-9 victory over Richwoods. Now, that was a game that didn't showcase the talents of Andrew Shadid. He had 1,155 yards last year. That was second in the Mid-State 6, and he's going to get to run behind Jim, a big, talented line tonight. It'll be the responsibility of the Blue Devils' salty defense, including returning all-Western Big Six linebacker Riverview and the big-time ad in the middle in Malik Bondon to shut down Shadid here tonight.
Yeah, Shadid ranked second in the conference behind Kendrick Foster from Richwoods, who's now playing at Illinois.
Yep.
And people don't know this, but unless you've looked at the roster, that was as a sophomore. He's only a junior this year. So, obviously, kid's got some talent. He does have a nice-sized line. It'll be imperative upon the Blue Devil defensive line to occupy their men, to allow Bondon to run free, to allow Riverview to run free. You know, we're going to have to flow to the ball. They run the same type of offense we do, but, you know, the line of scrimmage usually tells the tale of the tape, and we'll see how that plays out here tonight.
There is a lengthy presentation being had by the Marching Devils to start the season at home tonight. So they put another 7 or 8 minutes on the scoreboard before we kick this off. We'll talk a little bit more about the game tonight and the Western Big Six before we get to kickoff this evening on 103.9 The Fox. And we'd like to welcome you and remind you, in case you were late to the pregame show, you can enjoy tonight's game on a TV broadcast style experience when you go to QuincyJournal.com, click the link for QJTV, and watch it along with us this evening online at QuincyJournal.com. QJ TV tab right at the top. We'll have more of this pregame breakdown and the kickoff coming up in just a bit. You're listening to Blue Devil Football on 103.9 The Fox.
You're listening to Blue Devil Football.
They're going to do the national anthem, so give me 3 minutes here because Bob wants to carry the national anthem live. So give me 3 minutes here.
You've been trying to get me
and then
for years. You wouldn't talk to McDonald.
Please join with us in a moment of silence for this special young man and his family. Thank you. May we always remember Blake in our hearts and minds forever. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay on your feet for the singing and playing of our national anthem.
Last trip around the block. We saw Galesburg knock off Moline last week 20-16, and then it was Rock Island all over Peoria Manual. That game was 49-12, and maybe the game of the week, Peoria knocked off Alleman in a shocking 38-36 final. That was a whale of a game to start the season.
When I saw that score, I was a little stunned. Alleman came into that game preseason number 1 in 4A, having played in the title game last year. They did lose a lot of kids, but normally you don't see an Alleman team give up that many points. So that was probably, for me, actually more shocking than Notre Dame beating Richwoods.
It was a shocking way to start the season. That was certainly the case last week. We'll have coverage of the games tonight as we go along here on 103.9 The Fox. I know there are quite a few interesting matchups around the conference this evening. Wrapping up last week's game for the Blue Devils, they won it 34-13. They picked up a 76-yard kickoff return touchdown from Malik Robbins, a 4-yard pass for a touchdown from Cricard to Robbins. It was Osborne, 44 yards on the rush. That made it 21-7 at the half. In the second half, the Blue Devils picked up a 7-yard rush from Robbins, a 56-yard rush from Robbins, and then East Moline wrapped up the scoring with a 90-second to go 35-yard touchdown pass to give us the final of 34-13. Oh, yeah, Malik Robbins threw in a 2-point conversion along the way as well. He was Mr. Everything last week, helping out on defense as well, getting the first touchdown of the season on special teams. A 4-touchdown week is a big week. It doesn't matter if it's week 1, week 9, or the state championship. This is the Malik Robbins that has to lead the way for the Blue Devils on the field.
Yeah, and, unfortunately, he can't do that every week. Teams like Peoria, Notre Dame, Peoria, Richwoods are going to key in on him. So, it was a great start, but we're going to have to have other guys step up and take that role and have the opportunity to maybe free him up a little bit to do other things for the offense.
Taking a look at the conference matchups that are going on this week, it's going to be Rock Island as they're, that's last year's wrap-up. I'll grab this year's real quickly as we take a look at the other things that are going to be going on around the conference. We already know who won the Western Big Six last year, Sean. We need to talk about what's coming up this year. We'll have those scoring updates as we go along this evening here on 103.9 The Fox. It gets you all the matchup rundowns as well. Going to be a big challenge for the Blue Devils tonight to take on Peoria Notre Dame. The band has lined both sides of the hash marks, and the field is ready to receive the Blue Devils. They are under the goalposts on the east end of the field, and they are about to come out for the first time in 2013 for the home crowd. We'll see if the Blue Devils can impose their will on a big, experienced, and now confident Peoria Notre Dame team after that Week 1 win over Richwoods. Taking a look at the standings for both the Western Big Six and the remnants of the Mid-State Six. I'll tell you that story in just a second. It's the Blue Devils and Galesburg along with Rock Island 1-0, although Quincy and Galesburg were the only teams who played conference opponents last week. Rock Island's win was officially out of the conference. Alleman had their loss in Week 1. East Moline and Moline, the other losses. So you have as far as the conference is concerned, 2 1-0s and 2 0-1s to start the season. In order for a conference to be recognized by the IHSA, you have to have at least 6 eligible member schools. Well, that's not the case anymore for the old Mid-State Six. The other 2 teams cut bait and ran when they knew that these 4 would be part of the new they would be part of the new Midwest 10, not the old Western Big Six, the Midwest 10. And so if you're looking for Peoria, Manual, Richwoods, and Notre Dame this year, you'll find them listed as independent schools, and that's going to impact their chances to get into the playoffs, Jim, because you have to earn your way in as an independent. There is no guaranteed spot for winning your conference, regardless of record.
Yeah, and that's a shame because it was one game that upheld that, and it was the last game of the year for Manual or somebody. So this is like a dry run. The beauty is we don't have to worry about scheduling non-conference games, but it really hindered the Peoria schools the most. Because we still have the recognized conference, they don't.
Taking a look around the other matchups tonight, it's going to be Galesburg at Alleman. Peoria High is at Moline, and it'll be Rock Island at Richwoods. Those are the other Western Big Six games going on tonight that we'll keep our eye on as we move along here this evening.
I think, unfortunately, what we're doing here is we're wasting time waiting on somebody to skydive the football into the stadium.
This happened a couple of years ago.
Let's just get it and go.
A couple of years ago, there was a near injury when a skydiver came down with the football. He came in, let's just say hot, missed the landing mark in the center of the field and ended up carrying it a little bit over to the east end.
Well,
so,
I don't know what the deal is. I can't even see the guy, and we're already a half an hour late.
There's excitement in the air, anticipation, and a lot of bewilderment and confusion.
But you know what? Not to sound too negative about this whole deal, but the teams have gotten ready.
Yes.
Okay, they're out of the locker rooms. Peoria Notre Dame is on the far sideline. Quincy High has been sitting around waiting to run out, and here he finally comes flying in.
Well, Jim, you have a well-manufactured and well-manicured precision Swiss timepiece. It was not used in the execution of the pregame ceremonies tonight.
No.
And now we have a second one coming in.
Oh, my gosh,
well.
this guy looks like he might hit somebody.
Is somebody paying attention? The cheerleaders line at the end nearly got wiped out as a second skydiver came in about 8 beats after the first.
If we have a third, we could call them the Three Stooges. We've got 2.
Well, the original skydiver landed with a QHS banner, and 2 of the cheer corps now marching that over to the near side. Congratulations to everyone who was involved in putting on this wonderful pregame spectacular before the kickoff to the home season here in 2013. It is a 5 home game year, 5 chances to come out and see the Devils play at Flynn Stadium. The Devils are basically going to alter road games and home games for the first 7 weeks of the season, and then weeks 8 and 9 will be here at Flynn Stadium. We'll take a look at the schedule for the Blue Devils and see who they would be playing at that time. But, Jim, you have to like your chances of finishing up at home, albeit against Galesburg and Richwoods. If you've got a playoff berth to play for, if you've got playoff seedings to play for, the advantage of having those last 2 games at home can't be understated.
Yeah, and you know, the nemesis for us, our Achilles heel, has always been Galesburg. Gosh, we just haven't played well against them in years, but I will say at least we're not going there this year.
I will tell you, it's going to be a different Galesburg team that we see this year. They have gone to a primarily spread passing attack. They are starting to reinvent themselves under Coach Litchfield, and it is going to be a very different Galesburg team that comes to Flynn Stadium this year.
Yeah, and that spread attack, you know, their goal is to, if the high school has a 25-second play clock or 30-second play clock, they want to get 2 plays for every 30 seconds. They want to be on the ball and go, not allow the defense to switch players in and out, get lined up in formations. They want to get lined up, and it's on the go all the time.
Yeah, the team that really kind of has started, not that it's a new idea to try and have more plays than your opponent, but the one that's brought it to the forefront in modern college sports and modern high school football has really been the Oregon Ducks. And you see teams all over the country that have the ability to do it with athletes try to take a page out of their fast attack book.
Yeah, and, if you watched college football last week, that Thursday night game, North Carolina, South Carolina, South Carolina's got a pretty heavy, stout defense, and they had them gassed. I mean, they were trying to substitute people in and out. They limited their ability to do that. You know, that's the goal, tire out the defense, not allow them to get substitutions in for certain formations, and wear them down.
Well, it is time to play football this evening at Flynn Stadium.
Was it 9:30? What do we got?
You need another shave. Sean Seacrease along with Jim Hansen. Bo Beecraft back in the studio, and thank you for joining us tonight. You can enjoy it not only on 103.9 The Fox at 1039thefox.com, or if you're out with your TuneIn radio app, you can also pull us up at quincyjournal.com. Quincy Journal has a TV station that airs online called QJTV. If you go to quincyjournal.com, click the QJTV link, you can watch this game with video and our play-by-play all in one place, QJTV. That's on quincyjournal.com. Thanks to Bob Goff for making us the game of the week this week here at Flynn Stadium. Both teams are on the field. The Blue Devils are in their home blue with the white Q's on the helmet, the white names and numbers on the jersey, and they are ready to kick it away here to Peoria, Notre Dame. Peoria in the road whites with the green helmets and the green number accents. The Devils are ready. Unmissing puts the left-footed boot to it, and we are underway at Flynn Stadium. Notre Dame takes it back at their own 3-yard line and that's going to be Shadid. Comes this way to the 20, gets upended on the near side, making a return of 19, and Notre Dame starts at their own 22, 1st and 10 on the first series of the night.
Yeah, nice tackle by Brady Brockmiller on there. Looked like there was a hole opening up here as he brought it from the far corner all the way to the near side to try and set up a wall, and got brought down at the 22.
Washington will be the quarterback for Peoria Notre Dame. They're going to come out in a wing tee, much like the Blue Devils. Hurst and Shadid will be the two main culprits in the backfield. Now they're going to go with Sanders, the captain, at the fullback slot, and Shadid next to him. Hand it to Shadid, run to the right side. Devils have men right in the gaps, and they'll limit him to a gain of 1 out to the 23-yard line as Shadid carries right.
Well, it looked like Quentin Lefevre got some good push there along with Blaine Schluter. Now, Schluter is a sophomore starting on the defensive line. Good size, 6'2", 245. Coach Little really likes him for the next 3 years now. And, you know, this would be a big first series if we can force a punt here and force them 3 and out.
They're going to give him a gain of 2 on the play. 2nd and 8 coming up for Peoria Notre Dame. From the far side, hash marks. They'll switch off into the I now. Washington wants to hand it to the tailback. That's Shadid still. He cuts it back to the right side across the 25 out to the 30. He'll be brought down at the 31. That's going to be just shy of a first down. We'll see where they mark it. We're a minute in. Peoria Notre Dame is on the move on the game's opening drive. Couple of handoffs to Shadid, and they're looking at 3rd down and 1.
Nice cutback by Shadid. Bondin and everybody, Bew, all the linebackers were flowing. He cut back off the backside and was able to pick up close to 8 yards.
Now, I left the heavy X's and O's talk for this week, but I did mention it last week. The Devils have switched to a 3-5 defense. I'll let Jim break down what that means and how it'll affect the attack from Notre Dame going forward. Bondin shows on the line. They're going to hand it off again, give it to Shadid. He stopped in the backfield. They faked it to him, give it to the fullback now, and that's going to be across the 20 or 32 out for a first down as Sanders gets his first touch, and he'll move it from the 32 all the way out to the 38-yard line as he gets a big pickup of 6.
Bondin was blitzing to the center guard gap on his right, quarterback's left, moving right to left on their dial, and they went the backside off of Bondin. I'd be interested to see, you know, if they're going to try and take him out of the game and see where he flows and take him away from the strong side of the play.
They're going to go with Sanders at the fullback now as they go twins to the near side. Peoria Notre Dame in the I, tight end on the far side. Going to keep it, flip it to Shadid on the outside. He angles toward the 40. He's there across the 40 out to the 41. He'll pick up 4 on first down. Nice pursuit by the defense.
Got to be honest, that was a terrible spot. I mean, his knee touched down about 2 yards back on the 41, and they gave it where he rolled to almost the 43.
Well, that is not a call the Blue Devils wanted to see early. Rather than holding him to a gain of 3 or 4, they're going to be able to pick up 5 on first down as Notre Dame. And Shadid is shifty. He's also powerful. I mean, he finishes downhill.
Yeah, and, you know, unfortunately they ran a little option there off of our right defensive end, and our corner got sucked in. Bondin made the play from the inside linebacker spot, but you don't want him having to run all the way down to the far sideline to make a tackle.
3rd down and 5. Near side hash marks. 9 minutes to go, first quarter. We're scoreless. Game's opening drive. Quarterback hands it off late to the captain, Sanders. He's up the middle. He's at the 30. He's hit from behind at the 25 and down at the 24-yard line. What a burst up the middle by the fullback, Sanders, as he was able to step in and take that 33 yards for the first down.
Yeah, and unfortunately right now we got no pressure from our defensive line. You know, you talk about a 3-5. What that means is we got a nose guard and 2 defensive tackles, and we then play 5 linebackers. And hold on, it looks like we're going to get a huge break on a penalty here, but we then play 5 linebackers kind of in a hybrid situation. You got 2 defensive linemen, Hochschlag and the other one on the other side, and then you got Bondin, Bew, and another linebacker in the middle. So you really got 5 linebackers, but it's a combo, 2 defensive ends, 3 linebackers on your 3 inside linemen. So there's our first huge penalty, taking away a huge run for Notre Dame.
The penalty was actually beyond the line of scrimmage. It was a hold that occurred at the Blue Devil 46. So they'll back this up 10 yards. It'll put Peoria Notre Dame back at their own 44-yard line. So wipe out the run. That's a 10-yard penalty, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 out of the eye. One man wide to the far side. Washington under center. They're going to turn around, give it to Shadid. Shadid cuts it back. He's going to be hitting the hole by Bondin. Lots of help there with Holschlag. He's close to the first down marker. Let's see where they spot him. That was third and a long three.
He's a hard runner.
That was a great job of group tackling by the Blue Devil defense. They were able to hit Shadid behind that first down marker, but he squirms forward to the 48. Picks up 4 yards on the play, and it's a first down. 4 carries for 18 yards for Andrew Shadid. Had 1,155 last year, second in the Mid-State 6. Sanders has 1 carry for 6, although he had the huge gain wiped out by the holding penalty. First and 10 from the 47. They're going to hand it up the middle to Sanders. Sanders is going to be swarmed under. He'll be hit for no gain, although his second effort takes it out to the 49, so give him a pickup of 1, but that's still a big stop on first down for the Devils.
Yeah, finally got some push up front from Cooper Bowles at the defensive tackle spot. Stood him up and allowed everyone to get there and help with the tackle. You know, here we go, second and long. This is you want to force a team like this into third and long. The wing tee that doesn't throw much, that's the preferred spot to be in on defense.
Back to the wing tee for Peoria Notre Dame. 7:50 to go first quarter. We're scoreless. Game's opening drive. Gonna hand it off to Shadid. He comes inside, runs behind the center. He's across the 50 to the 49. And that is going to be his first carry of the game. There are 2 Shadids. That was Luke, his first carry of the game. He's going to go for 2 yards on the pickup, bringing up 3rd and 7.
Nice play by Bondin there. That was a misdirection. Brings the other Shadid back to the near side, and he wasn't fooled and made the solo tackle. Had he not, kid could have broken away for a big game. But this is what you want. The Devil defense, 3rd and 7. Wing tee offense. You know, you got to try and make them do something they're not comfortable with here. And let's see how we react.
7:05 to go first quarter. We're scoreless at Flynn Stadium. Second week, both teams 1-0. Washington under center come out in the offset eye. They're going to hand it off to the tailback, Shadid. He's going to be hit at the 45 and stop there for a gain of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up 4th and 3 on the Blue Devil 45. If you're the Peoria Notre Dame staff, Jim, what are you thinking about on the game's opening drive?
I think they're going to go for it. I think they ran that play to set up this next play. I mean, that was straight power eye, deep handoff to Shadid. He got it 4 yards deep in the backfield. I think they knew it was 2-down territory. This side of the 50 on the road. You know, although with their special teams, you think, what is our defense doing? We got 2 guys back at the 10-yard line.
We've got the punt return unit out there right now. The Blue Devils are going to have to get their defense back on the field. Peoria Notre Dame's going to go for it. 4th down and 3 from the Blue Devil 45-yard line.
Watch the football.
Wing tee behind Washington. Near side hash marks moving right to left. They're going to straight hand it to Shadid. The whistle blows, and this flag is thrown in the Blue Devils' defensive backfield.
Delay.
That's going to be a delay of game on Peoria Notre Dame, and that's going to be the break the Blue Devils were looking for. Second penalty on this drive by Peoria Notre Dame, and I think the plan changes now at 4th and 8, and they are going to send on the kicking team.
Yeah, and you know, boy, that just goes to show you, we talked in the pregame about big penalties. The very first big penalty has now stalled Notre Dame's drive at the 50. They had the ball 1st and 10 at the Devil 22-yard line, I believe, after the big run by their captain Sanders, and here they are now having to punt.
So now the Blue Devils bring the punt return unit on. Osborne and Robbins, they're the 2 back. And nearly blocked on the kick. Tischner gets it away. It's going to come to the near side, and Robbins will let it roll out of bounds. And it takes a coffin corner bounce down to the near side, and the Blue Devils will have to start their first drive inside their own 5 at the 2-yard line. The Devils will be looking at 98 yards to traverse as they take their first possession of the night. 1st and 10 from their own 2. Blue Devils moving left to right. We are scoreless after the first drive by Peoria Notre Dame.
You know, Coach Little is just furious over there because that ball hit at the 18. Malik Robbins has got to come over and get that football. There wasn't anyone on him. He had plenty of time to do it to save that from happening. Go get the football.
Near side hash marks. Ricard is under center. Blue Devils 1 man in the backfield. That is Robbins. They'll hand it to him. He's at the 5. Burst it to the 10, to 15, to the 20, to the 30, to the 35, 40, 45, 50. Cutting it back at the 45, out of bounds. And the Blue Devils get a big start. Back up in the shadows of their own goalposts on the near side. Malik Robbins busts it out and picks up 53 yards on the carry.
Well, they started in a trips formation to the far side, solo back. I don't know if Notre Dame thought maybe we were going to do something crazy. Last week, maybe not has shown that formation, but wow, what a big start.
And I think we finally found a safety who can run Robbins down. That is unusual. Nice pursuit that time by Shadid, the safety for Peoria Notre Dame. 1st and 10 from the Peoria 44-yard line. Blue Devils will hand it off again in the backfield to Robbins. He's across the 40, down to the 35. He picks up 9, and Malik Robbins is a man on fire on these first 2 carries.
Well, interesting start for the Devils. We're not in the wing T. We're in trips to the left side. Krikard under center. Robbins is your solo back. Now we're sending in Bondin, and it looks like they're going to give Malik a break. So we'll see.
This is going to be the new Power I format. The first time they ran this last week, it was a picture-perfect 44-yard touchdown for Osborne with Bondin as the fullback. Coach Little said they wanted to run more of this week. Let's see if they go for it here. Now they're going to use Bondin as the fullback in the wing T. So another new formation. They're going to hand this one off to Osborne off the far side. Osborne fights it down to the 30. Now pushes the pile down to the 25. Osborne may have a first down on his first carry. It'll be close. He's got it. And it's down to the 25-yard line for Osborne.
Well, that's just, a good push from the front 5 and moving that pile.
That was just, okay, it was 2nd and 1 there. He picked up 10. And the Blue Devils, who last week ran it 39 times for 320 yards, are off to another good start this week. 4:50 to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless. Blue Devils driving, opening possession. Wing T again behind Krikard. He puts Bew in motion. They're going to hand it off on the inside, give it to Bondin. He dives down to the 22-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 3.
Well, we're certainly seeing a lot of different formations to start the game from Coach Little. We've seen solo back. We've seen Osborne and Bondin in the backfield. We see Bondin and Robbins in the backfield.
I think you had to put Bondin in just to give Robbins a breather after picking up 63 yards on 2 carries the first 2 of the game. 4:10 to go now, first quarter. Blue Devils will shift a man out to the wing on the near side. They're going to put Ruths out there. I formation, hand it off, swing it around to the near side. On the corner, running with his head down is Robbins. He's going to stretch out down to the 16-yard line. Blue Devils reaching for the first down. They're going to come up just shy after picking up 7 yards on the carry by Robbins. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Now, call me crazy. This is, 3rd and 1. Peoria Notre Dame has a player down. Number 2.
That's Matthew Corey. Corey's one of their defensive backs. He was run over at the point of attack on the near side.
Call me crazy, but here we are, 3rd and 1. We've run power. Talk to me about a little fake power fullback. George Krikard takes 1 step back. You dump it to your tight end, knowing it's 2-down territory. I mean, you're going to go for it on 4th down here anyway. It'd be 4th and a foot. You got Seth Holschlag.
He had 2 nice catches last week for 16 yards.
I think you'd catch Notre Dame napping.
All right, so Jim down for a little seam route or slant here off the power. And as Notre Dame attends to their downed man, we'll take a timeout on 103.9 The Fox. 3:45 to go first quarter. We're scoreless. Quincy Hyde driving on Peoria Notre Dame. You're listening to Blue Devil Football on 103.9 The Fox.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Now back to Blue Devil Football on the Fox.
Good news for Peoria Notre Dame. Matthew Corey, the downed defensive back, able to get up and walk off under his own power as he goes to the far side. No score, 3:46 to go, first quarter from Flynn Stadium. The Blue Devils on their opening drive trying to put the first points on the board tonight against Peoria Notre Dame after forcing a punt from PND to start the game. Blue Devils 3rd down and 1. They're going to give it to Bondin. Bondin fights his way down to the 15-yard line.
I think he got it.
It's going to be close. They needed forward momentum past the 15, maybe not all the way to the 14, but did he get enough penetration behind his center?
Nope. See, that's the thing. That's so predictable. That's just so predictable to run that play. You know, we need a yard. You put Bondin there, power I. We've run the same thing.
Bondin gets no additional yardage on 3rd down. This will bring up 4th and what's going to be a long one, essentially 1.5 for the Blue Devils. Crickard comes out with the offense. Devils in the red zone. This was money for them last week at the Soul Bowl. Can they make it again so this evening? Devils split routes out wide. They're going to go with a packed backfield on the eye. Cut it up the middle with Robbins. He's got the first down to the 10-yard line. He picks up a big 6, and the Blue Devils will be close to 1st and goal after the 6 yards by Robbins.
Yeah, nice cutback off the lead block, by Malik Bondin. Got some good push up front, and I think that was, a good key test here early to see what that Devil offense will have here late in the first quarter. These two wing T offenses, Sean, we don't see a lot of possessions. I mean, here we're at 2:40 to go in the first half, and each team's had the ball one time.
The sticks have been put down on the far side. That means it's 1st and goal for the Blue Devils from the 10. They're going to come out in the wing T. Going to hand it off on a little power dive inside to the left back for the Blue Devils. They ran that very quickly. Let's see who got the touch.
It was Holschlag.
For Quincy. Yeah, they've moved Holschlag back now.
Oh, here we go. Huddle, hurry it up on the ball. Go.
Into the backfield. And he's able to pick up 3 yards on the carry. Devils going to go quickly again. Going to go to the left side. Struggling toward the end zone. Reaching out. Into the end zone. He ran that off the back of the young left tackle that the Blue Devils have had faith in. That's Prost, and he opened up a late seam for Robbins to run to the left side on. Robbins is in on a 7-yard touchdown.
Make no mistake, though, he broke about 3 tackles to get there and then spun and fell into the end zone. So nice start for the Devils, 98-yard touchdown drive on their first possession.
Robbins caps a 98-yard touchdown drive with a 7-yard touchdown rush. The extra point is up and good, and the Blue Devils lead it 7-0. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Devils kick it away next on 103.9 The Fox.
The Blue Devils play here.
You want 30 or
It's 30 in the highlight. And, Bo, you can feel free to cut those highlights shorter.
This is
You don't
Financial
need
Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Again, going to go to the left side, struggling toward the end zone, reaching out. Oh, what a run! Into the end zone. Blue Devils up 7-0, 2:09 to go first quarter, ready to kick it away to Peoria Notre Dame. Gaudy numbers, Jim, for Robbins here at the outset. 5 carries, 83 yards, and a 7-yard touchdown to cap it off. The Blue Devils got just 16 yards from men not named Robbins on that drive.
Yeah, and obviously helped momentum and the drive. That first run that went for 55 or whatever it was. Nice kick.
Unmasig gets it away, and it's going to be a touchdown. No chance for Shadid to return it. 1st and 20 for Peoria Notre Dame.
Well, I tell you what would be a wonderful development would be another stop by our defense to get that ball back to our hot offense to see if they can keep up another drive and put some more points on the board.
And I thought you made a great point during that drive for the Raiders. For the Blue Devils. This is 2 wing T teams, so you're not going to get a lot of possessions in this game if the offenses are grinding it out. You might only look at 7 or 8 possessions for an entire game. Washington brings Peoria Notre Dame to the line, and a flag flies on the near side. This is going to be probably someone lined up in the neutral zone or not enough men on the line against Notre Dame.
I think what happened was the Devils started out in a defense, then shifted over. Everyone shifted down the line, and it caused one of the offensive linemen from Peoria Notre Dame to flinch and got a false start.
1st and 15 from the 15 for Peoria Notre Dame. I know it's early, 2:09 to go in the first quarter. Blue Devils up 7-0, but so far, Blue Devils have been the more disciplined team in this game. Washington under center. Wing T is behind him. They're going to give it to Sanders. He's going to struggle forward to just shy of the 20 as he gets back to penalty yardage and sets up 2nd and 10.
Nice tackle by Schluter there, the nose guard. I tell you what, that Sanders runs hard, though. I mean, he dragged Schluter for a couple yards to get back to almost to the original line of scrimmage.
Now, in this 3-5 that the Devils play, Jim, how important is it for defensive linemen to shed the blocks and tackle, or do they just need to hold up guys so the linebackers can make the tackles? 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Far side hash marks. The quarterback keeper for Washington. He's around the edge out to the 30, has the first down, dives forward to the 40. And that's going to be a pickup of 21 yards for Washington on his first carry of the night.
Yeah, terrible contained by our left side and defensive end linebacker. They bit on the fake, and he had all sorts of running room. But back to your point, in the 3-5, the three defensive linemen, tackles are a luxury from them, I think. Their main job is to occupy blockers so your linebackers can flow and make the tackles.
1st and 10 from the 40 for Peoria Notre Dame. Going to hand this one off to Sanders. He busts up the middle, out to the 50, dives down to the 48, picks up 12. And this is a Peoria Notre Dame team that even though they keep it on the ground, they can move the ball in bursts.
Yeah, and, you know, you certainly don't like to see 3 plays and we're already out on Quincy High's side of the 50 after we had them backed up 1st and 15 from their own 15-yard line.
1st and 10 from the Blue Devil 49. Washington under center. Sanders, Shadid, and Shadid behind him. They're going to keep this one with Washington. He keeps it himself, turns it up the middle between the tackles, is across the 40, down to the 38. That'll be a first down on a pickup of 10.
You know, part of the problem right now is Bond is getting up into the line of scrimmage, kind of faking like he's going to blitz, and he gets caught up in there, and he's getting washed out of the play. All he got to do is wall him off, and Washington's cutting behind him, cutting off of him. Sanders is cutting off of him. You know, he's not getting on the backside of the play.
1st and 10 from the Blue Devil 38. Peoria Notre Dame, far side hash marks. They're on the move, going right to left. Devils lead at 7-0. Handed off up the middle to Sanders. Sanders is going to try to break one tackle, takes it down to the 35, and he'll be stopped at the 34 after a gain of 4.
See, the problem with that is that's first down. So you got 4 yards on first down with a dive play right up the middle. I mean, the key, as I said earlier, you want the wing T to be in 2nd and long, 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s. You know, right now they're in 4-down territory. They got three downs, I'm sure, to get 6 yards.
25 seconds on the clock here in the first half. Wing T behind Washington. Washington's going to fake it to the fullback, hand it to Shadid, the younger one. He's up the middle, and he's gone. Oh, the Devils tackle him from behind. That's a great ankle tackle for the Devils as they were nearly washed out of the play before Unmisig got back and made the touchdown-saving tackle. With 16 seconds to go, it'll be 1st and 10 from just inside the 11, as it won't quite be 1st and goal for Peoria Notre Dame.
Well, you know, nice tackle, but the problem is we're giving up too many chunks of yardage on each play.
Luke Shadid had that pickup. He's got 2 carries for 29 yards. 1st and 10 from the 11. 8 seconds to go, first quarter. Blue Devils on top, 7-0. Fighting Irish threatening. Hand this one off to Sanders. Sanders is hit at the 5. He's going to be bowled down at the 4 and comes to rest at the 3. That wraps up the first quarter, but it's 2nd and 2 from the Blue Devil 3 for Peoria Notre Dame to start the second quarter. We'll have that for you coming up next. The Devils lead Peoria Notre Dame 7-0 at home. You're listening to Blue Devil Football on 103.9 The Fox.
The Blue Devil.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. Me is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
Get underway. Quincy on top of Peoria Notre Dame, 7-0. But Peoria Notre Dame inside the Blue Devil 5 to start this second quarter as they are looking to bring it back even. It is going to be 2nd down and 3 from the 4. So Notre Dame in an enviable spot because they could pick up a new set of downs before they get to the goal line. Washington is the quarterback. He's got Sanders and Shadid behind him. New wingman into the backfield. They're going to hand this one to Washington. Keeps it himself, squirts up the middle, and he takes it into the end zone. 4-yard touchdown for the quarterback, Washington, on his 3rd carry of the night. And now Peoria Notre Dame just an extra point away from leveling here at Flynn Stadium. Washington, he's had 3 carries for 36 yards, including the big 21-yard gain that flipped the field on this drive, Jim. Took him from their own 20-yard line out to near midfield.
Yeah, we just too many big plays for Peoria Notre Dame. That touchdown there was 2nd and 2 from the 3. I mean, he gave up 8 yards in the first play.
Shern is the kicker. His hold is good. The kick is up and good, and we are all level at 7 apiece.
And we got a roughing the kicker on Quincy High, so they'll add 15 yards to the kickoff.
So the Blue Devils will put themselves back in a deeper hole on this kick return. Let's take a look around the Western Big Six as they get lined up for the kickoff. We'll keep it here at Flynn Stadium. Sean Secrease along with Jim Hansen. Galesburg and Alleman are tied 7-7. That's in the first half at Alleman. Rock Island on top of Peoria Richwoods, 20-7. 20-7. Rock Island on top of Richwoods. That's on the road at Peoria. United Township on top of Manual, 21-12. Manual's on a bit of a skid, Jim. They've lost 16 in a row.
Well, what's interesting about that is last year they had one of the top offensive tackles in the country who signed with Michigan. Kid was about 6'7", I think 320.
Now, one man doesn't make a football team.
Amen. That's for sure.
You see, you got another top offensive lineman in the Western Big Six in Avery Pearl at United Township, and he wasn't able to turn the momentum of that game last week against Quincy.
Yeah, I forgot to look at it, how highly ranked he is. The old saying, you can't teach size. He's about, what, 6'7"?
He's 6'7", 330 is what they had him listed at. He was struggling in the 20-yard runs during warm-up.
Well, luckily he doesn't carry the ball, so we don't have to worry about that.
Peoria Notre Dame is going to kick this off to the Blue Devils from the Blue Devils' own 45. So if Tishner wants a touchback, he'll get it here, and he's going to kick the field goal just to show you the booming leg that this young man has. Blue Devils will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, 11:56 to go here in the second quarter. So the Blue Devils, just their 2nd possession of the game. It's going to come from their own 20. And you mentioned it a couple of times in the first quarter. Making something out of your possessions is going to be paramount tonight because there aren't going to be a whole lot.
Yeah, and, unfortunately, the wing T offense is one. Maybe we'll see something different here. They're not used to throwing the football, so you get behind more than one score, you could be in trouble.
Power I is going to come out behind Cricard. Blue Devils will run it up the middle. That is going to be Osborne. And Osborne is going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. 2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils from their own 20.
I might go back through the stats in the games last year and see how many times we've ever thrown on 1st down.
I have a sneaking suspicion that's going to be a lonely number, Jim.
Yeah, I bet you it's under 9.
2nd and 10 from the 20. Blue Devils going to put it in the arms of Osborne again. Take him outside to the 25, and he'll be down. The ball hit the turf, but Osborne was down. They're going to give him a gain of just shy of 5 And the Blue Devils will have third and a long 5 from their own 25.
Yeah, and this is a crucial third down. I mean, actually, it's about a third and closer to 6. You know, you just given up a big drive for Peoria Notre Dame to tie the score. You certainly want to answer. Worst case scenario, you want to at least keep the ball to make a few first downs.
Well, the Blue Devils scored first in this one, shut down Peoria Notre Dame with the help of some Notre Dame penalties on their first drive. Since then, the offensive has had their way. Blue Devils going to come out. Nearly a missed fumble. Now it is a missed handoff. Blue Devils will need to jump on this, or they have set Peoria Notre Dame up on the doorstep to the red zone. Devils do cover, but they're going to have to kick it away. Robbins never had the handoff from Cricard. Cricard looked like he was going to pull it back and maybe throw a little bootleg out the back door. But they fumbled the handoff from quarterback to running back, and the Devils use up their third down just to cover the football. It'll be 4th and 7.
Terrible series. I mean, you know, I don't know, missed handoff or what. It looked like we were trying that wraparound delay, but
the punt is sky high, but away. It will come down, take a Blue Devil bounce at the 45, the 40, now roll down to the 37, and the Devils will stop it with Holschlag on top of it at the Peoria Notre Dame 37. 9:46 to go, first half. We're all tied 7-7, and the offense for Notre Dame, under the tutelage of the quarterback Washington, back onto the turf here at Flynn Stadium. This is a Notre Dame team coming in on a high note. They beat Peoria Richwoods 11-9 last week. They set it up on the late fourth quarter interception by Shadid, and they won it on a 22-yard field goal by the kicker, Churn. We saw his great leg on 2 kickoffs already tonight. 1st and 10 out of the wing tee for Washington at the 37. Near side hash mark moving left to right. Can they take it up the middle? It's going to be Shadid out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. He picks up a first down with a carry of 11.
You know, this defense better figure something out. All they're doing is running themselves right out of the hole. Bondin's going to a side every time, and every time he does that, he just vacates the middle, and that's right where they're going.
Now, this is a Notre Dame offense that struggled to find its stride against Richwoods last week. So they have to be kind of relieved, I would imagine, on the PND sidelines that they're able to move the football, because they sure didn't do it last week. 1st and 10 out near midfield. Blue Devils run past Sanders with the football. He's out to the 50, pushes the pile to the Blue Devils side of midfield. He's down at the 48, so it'll be a hard-fought gain of 4. Blue Devils sent 2 linebackers into the backfield, and they missed the ball carrier. Second down and 6 for Peoria Notre Dame. 9 minutes to go, first half, on a warm but comfortable night at Flynn Stadium. I'm Sean Sechrist along with Jim Hansen. Thanks for joining us at QJTV. What is that, you say? I'll tell you more coming up. 2nd and 6. Under center with the wing tee. They're going to keep it with Washington. Washington has one man on him. Spins out of the tackle, and the Blue Devils bring him down. Lefevre was there first. He spun Washington around, and then the defensive core cleaned it up.
Brings up a very, very large third down and about 6. Call it, about 6. You know, we need to bow our necks here and make a stop. I mean, you need to get the football back. Not saying it's not 2-down territory maybe for Notre Dame, but you know, we need to make a statement here on defense.
8:13 to go in the first half, 7-7. Peoria Notre Dame at 3rd and 7 at the Blue Devil 48-yard line. The wing tee, they'll send a man in motion. They're going to give it to Vroman on the cutback. Vroman's at the 45. He's got the first down to the 40, inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. They're going to give him that's a generous spot all the way down to the 36 as he picks up 13 yards on 3rd and 7.
Unacceptable.
Shadid, excuse me. I called Vroman from last week. It was Shadid on the carry. He had the 13. He now has 7 carries for 46 yards. Salander, one of the other captains, has been alternating in the backfield with Luke Shadid. Now Luke Shadid back, so the double handoff. They're going to hand this one off up the middle to Hurst. Hurst is down to the 30 after a pickup of nearly 7.
See, that's the problem. You know, as you're telling all our viewers, pickup of 6, pickup of 7, pickup of 8, pickup of 13. You know, if I'm Peoria Notre Dame, I'm pretty happy right now. We withstood the initial onslaught. we got this game tied. They can't stop us right now on defense. We're keeping Robbins and everyone else off the field. We'll just methodically march down, take these big chunks, and put some points on the board and, take our chances.
7 minutes to go in the first half. We're all tied 7-7 at Flynn Stadium. Power I set up now for Peoria Notre Dame. They're going to hand it on the toss to the outside. It's Shadid. He has the corner. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10. He's into the end zone. Shadid on a little toss out of the power I. Sweeps left. 31 yards later, it's 13-7 Peoria Notre Dame.
It's just, methodically carving up a defense. You run up the middle, you run up the middle, you run up the, you go outside, off tag, get your quarterback, run a little option, seal the end, seal the corner. He went untouched, what was that, 30 yards? 31 yards. There wasn't a guy within 5 yards of getting near him.
31-yard touchdown for Shadid. And they're going to tee this one up. They were going to show a little swinging gait, and they ultimately do. It's going to be good. And
no, that was they tried a
they tried a little
incomplete pass.
Yeah, they tried a little roll out there. They brought everybody to the near side and then rolled it to the left, and that just
confusing.
It looked as awkward as it sounded from us. I'll be honest with you there, because there was no rhythm to that play, no execution, and I thought they were just lining up for a trick shot for Tishner just to give him something to do. So no extra point.
I don't understand that. You got a kicker as good as Peoria Notre Dame. It's almost an automatic point now.
And now they leave the door open for the Devils.
Right.
Now that was strange from Notre Dame. So the Devils will get the ball back with 6:50 to go in the first half. Tishner going to probably kick this one into the water beyond the west fence. He's upset at the way the last play went. The soccer-style kicker gives it a boot with the right foot, and he nails it through the it kind of twisted off to the right at the last second, but he had plenty of distance from his own 40. That was about a 70-yard kickoff to the back of the end zone. And the Blue Devils will be set up at their own 20.
Well, call me crazy. Here we are, 6:50 to go in the half, and not one team has attempted a pass.
Well, if you're the Blue Devils, you scored on your opening drive, keeping it on the ground. And if you're Peoria Notre Dame, you regrouped and scored exclusively on the ground and dominated on your second drive. So we'll see if the Blue Devils can get back to moving the sticks after punting on their last possession. 13-7, Peoria Notre Dame on top. They've scored the last 13 unanswered. Unmisig on the outside at the 25, cuts it up to the 30. Now he's hit at the 31 and driven down. It'll be a pickup of 11 for Unmisig, his first carry of the night.
Well, good start. Pick up a first down on the carry.
He had 4 for 14 last week at the Soul Bowl. And now the Blue Devils 1st and 10 from their own 31.
And my only comment on the pass is, at some point in time, you can't be so predictable. I'm just saying, if you were to do something like that, you might catch them totally unprepared and have the opportunity for a big play.
6.5 to go. Devils back to the wing tee. 1st and 10. Going to hand it off on the near side to Robbins. Robbins is out to the 35. He's brought down there. And the Blue Devils set it up at 2nd and 6. A couple of score updates for you. Alleman is broken on top of Galesburg, 14-7. Peoria Central leads Moline 12-0. Those are the updated scores from around the Western Big Six. Robbins now 7 carries for 85 yards, and we have 6 minutes to go in the first half. He has the Blue Devil touchdown as well. Wing T behind Krikard. Handed to Osborne. Osborne wants to roll right. Cuts it back. Goes in the middle of the field. He's got a blocker. He's gone. He's going to go 65 yards for the touchdown. Osborne goes to the house, and the Devils tie it up with a chance to take the lead.
Well, there you see the speed. Nice little nifty cutback. Made a linebacker miss, and then he was gone.
Allow me to play devil's advocate. Why put the ball in the air when you've got home run hitters in the backfield?
I knew that was coming.
So the Devils tie it up 13-13. Osborne. He had the 44-yard touchdown last week. Devils add the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Devils back on top. with 5:50 to play in the first half, 14-13. They'll kick it away to Peoria Notre Dame next on the Fox.
You're listening to QHS.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
Puzzling.
Blue Devils ready to kick it away with Unmasig. His left foot knocks it, and it's going to be into the end zone for a touchback. So Unmasig, unheralded, showing that he's keeping up with Shern just fine in the kicking game.
I hope he does. The rest of the game, that'd be fantastic.
5:45 to go, first half. Blue Devils on top, 14-13. It's been a wild one here at Flynn.
I was going to say something for the listeners. You know, in high school, even in that situation, Peoria Notre Dame caught the ball 1 yard. You cannot bring it out.
Yeah,
as long as it crosses the plane, you have no choice. So you can field it and start trying to run, but it's a dead ball.
5:46 to go, first half. Blue Devils looking for this salty 11-man defense to step up and make a big play. I formation behind Washington for Peoria Notre Dame, and it's going to be a flags as Peoria Notre Dame was, well, let's just say the two guards went a count too early.
They look like sprinters.
That is 4 penalties for 25 yards on Peoria Notre Dame. Now, they took a 5-yard penalty to start the last drive. It was 1st and 15 from their own 15, and they capped that off with a touchdown of 31 yards. We'll see if the Devils can make something out of the same situation the second time around.
Let's hope it's a different outcome.
So the Peoria Notre Dame Fighting Irish backed up 1st and 15 at their own 15-yard line after the illegal motion on the offense. I formation again. They're going to hand this one off to the tailback. Shadid, he's bounced back. Blue Devils are going to get there late. Hit him at the 17-yard line. He falls forward to the 18, and that's going to be a pickup of 3 on first down as the Devils really plugged up all the holes between the tackles that time.
Yeah, I was a little concerned at my foggy glass here. It looked like he had the corner, and there was no one there, but it must have been bottled up, and the Devils were quick to swarm him. I thought he was going to make something out of nothing there. It looked like he almost had the corner to go all the way.
It's going to be second down and 12 coming up for Notre Dame. Both these teams 1-0 coming into the night tonight. Who can put a leg up on this season and a drive for the playoffs? The handoff to Shadid on the inside, now cuts it back outside, and he'll roll out to the 38. That's going to be a pickup of 20 on 2nd and 12. Luke Shadid, he's only carried it 3 times tonight, but he has 2 gains of 20 or more, a 20 and a 27-yarder.
That's just a killer. I mean, you got them 2nd and 12 on their own 18-yard line. You know, you force the stop there. You put them in 3rd and long, out of their comfort zone, and now they got the ball all the way out at the 37-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 37 for Notre Dame. Notre Dame has made the only penalties in this game, but they've been able to overcome them with ease. Handoff. Now it's going to be a little trap for Sanders, the fullback, and he bowls his way to the 40. Give him forward progress to about the 41, making a pickup of 4 on the play. That near side linesman.
He's terrible.
Loves his offense. He gives you an extra yard on everything. So Sanders, 9 carries for 43 yards on the night. He had 1 huge gain wiped out on a 10-yard holding penalty by Peoria Notre Dame early in the first quarter. 4 minutes to go until halftime. Blue Devils on top, 14-13. Second down and 6. Going to roll it out to the far side. Little throw over the middle on the bootleg. It's complete down to the Blue Devil 47-yard line. That was a fine to his outside man that's been split wide, and that is Jacob Hurst. Hurst, the tight end, just split wide on that. Ran a little drag over the middle and sat down for a sizable gain.
Fantastic
as they take it
play.
From the 37 all the way down to the Blue Devil 46-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 17 on the game's first pass.
Roll Washington out. You bring the 2 running backs with them as the blockers. Run their big 6'4", 228-pound tight end across the middle on the drag. Wide open. Pitch and catch. Big play.
Timeout taken on the field. We'll take one as well. Peoria Notre Dame is driving, but the Devils have the lead, 14-13. You're listening to Blue Devil football on the Fox.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Now back to Blue Devil football on the Fox.
14-13. Blue Devils of Quincy High on top of the Fighting Irish of Peoria Notre Dame here at Flynn Stadium. Sean Secrease along with Jim Hansen. Both teams come into the game tonight 1-0. Both teams like to dominate on the ground out of the wing tee, and both teams have moved the football at will here throughout the first half. Can the Blue Devils keep the Fighting Irish from racking up a 100-yard rusher? History would say no, as the Devils gave up 6 100-yard rushing games last year. Devil defense last year was rushed on 342 times for 1,870 yards, giving up 5.5 yards to carry. Now a big gain right up the middle for Hurst. Hurst, 46 yards for the touchdown. Make it Shadid.
Jeez.
This one is coming back, though. There is a flag down at the 41-yard line. They faked it to Hurst on the block by Sanders, and Shadid took it, but this is coming back. It's going to be wiped out by the second big penalty of the night on Peoria Notre Dame.
You know, that's great, but the problem is that looked like the Red Sea had parted. He went untouched for 48 yards right up the middle. There wasn't a soul around him. How can it be that we can't, seem to figure out how to stop those types of plays?
Well, and with 5 linebackers, too, you'd think you'd have extra men in the middle.
And I think he's obviously a very good player. He's got scholarship offers. But you know what? You got your stud linebacker right there in the middle. Number 2 is right there over the center right now in the middle.
1st and 15 for Peoria Notre Dame. They've been in this situation 3 times now, and they have looked dominating out of it. Here's a pitch to the outside, and Sanders blows one tackle, is out across the 50 to the 45, down to the 43. And it's a pickup of 8 yards. The Blue Devils had Sanders dead to rights for no gain, and he just hurdled one linebacker and made it a 7-yard gain. Sanders.
We really could benefit from a few of our defensive players stepping up and making it. There was an opportunity, like you said. He was dead to right on the pitch. 2 guys, and he hurdled over both of them.
Sanders in the backfield with Salander and the big-time wingback, that is Shadid, and he gets the call right up the gut down to the 37-yard line.
We just aren't getting it. I mean, the Notre Dame offensive line is having their way with our front 8. They're pushing them around. They're moving them wherever they want to go. We have yet to have, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, a tackle for a loss. I don't think we've ever had I don't think we've stopped them for negative yards on any running play.
No, they've hit Washington once for no gain and stopped Sanders on a carry for 1. Those have been the shortest gains for Peoria Notre Dame this evening. Timeout, take it on the field. We'll keep it here in the booth for you. Sean Secrease and Jim Hansen at Flynn Stadium. So far tonight, it's been Andrew Shadid. 10 carries, 87 yards, a 31-yard touchdown. He has been balanced on the other side of this wing tee by the captain one of the captains, Aaron Sanders. Sanders has, out of the fullbacks role, gone 10 carries for 51 yards. His biggest has been a 12-yard pickup. But Sanders has been the man who's really hurt the Blue Devil defense, Jim, because every time the Blue Devils make a stop on first down, Sanders gets 7, 8, 12, 6 on his carry on second down, and that's either a first down or it sets up third and extremely short.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, he's, you know, the kind of the power to Shadid's speed, I guess what I'm looking for here is he's the guy that's getting the tough yards up the middle, the pounding yards, and then Shadid, the speedier back, picking up a lot of yards as well.
Sanders has home run speed as well, too, so we won't count him out. Back to the wing tee for Peoria Notre Dame. Now flags fly on both sides.
Oh, we come out of a timeout and we line up off sides to give them a first down.
That's going to be the first penalty against the Blue Devils tonight. It's a 5-yard penalty for lining up in the neutral zone. And on 3rd and 2, that hands a first down to Peoria Notre Dame with just 2:20 to go in the first half. And the Devils clinging to a 1-point lead, 14-13. 1st and 10 now for Peoria Notre Dame from the Blue Devil 33-yard line. Wing tee, far side hash marks. They're going to keep this one with Washington. Washington's hit at the 27, down to the 25, and spins down to the 23. He's close to a first down on his gain of 9, maybe 10. We'll see where they mark it.
Yeah, someone tried to make an arm tackle on him. He's 6'3", 210. You're not going to make an arm tackle on a guy running downhill who's that big.
9 yards on the first down carry for Washington. 2nd and 1 from the 24-yard line for Peoria Notre Dame. Salander in there at the right wing back spot in this wing tee. They're going to give it to him. Up the middle, nowhere to go. Nice job by Quincy on the inside as he forces it just to the left. But the first down is had on a great second effort. Boy, whenever Peoria Notre Dame wants just a few yards and they feel it's crucial, they run to that left side. Whether it's the fullback, Sanders, just breaking it left, or Shadid cutting it back to the left, when they want some crucial yards, they go to the left side. And on a first good spot of the night for the Blue Devils, a first down not given. It's going to be 3rd and 1. That's going to be no gain on the carry by Washington. I thought for sure he had the first down. 3rd and 1, quarterback sneak. Washington goes for it. They move the pile. And it's going to be plenty for a first down now to 1:19 to go.
Well, if you're Peoria Notre Dame, you got to be extremely pleased. You've used the clock up after the big run by Osborne, which 5:45 is when we kicked off to him. And they're probably going to take this down to make sure Quincy High doesn't get the ball back here in the first half.
1:19 to go. Devils desperately defending their 1-point lead, 14-13. 1st and 10 from the Blue Devil 22. Peoria Notre Dame knocking on the door to the red zone. Can the Devils hold up for another 65 seconds and take this lead to the locker room? You don't have to take it away here. Just make them settle for a field goal attempt. Now Peoria Notre Dame can't get together on the play. Washington under center, out of the wing tee, under a minute to go. They're going to bring Washington back to the near side, roll him out over the top, wide open in the end zone, and it's incomplete. They just drug the fullback across the middle again. He was looking for Hurst, and it was too far out in front of him.
He was there,
and
Bondon was
step.
chasing.
Yeah.
And luckily, I mean, he throws that ball a little earlier with a little more air under it.
Yeah, there were probably 6 yards uncovered to the back corner. Plenty of room for Hurst to run under it.
Yeah, what they ran is rolled out Washington towards us here on the home side of the field, flood the tight end on a flag route to the corner, run your wing back there, Shadid. They ran him on an under out, so he's got 2 options. He went to Hurst in the end zone and just overthrew him a bit.
Devils have a man down. Looks like they may be dealing with a cramping issue on the near side. 50 seconds to go. We'll take the timeout as well. Blue Devils on top of Peoria Notre Dame, 14-13. 50 seconds to go in the first half. You're listening to Devil Football on the Fox.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
First play after the injury timeout comes up. It's a handoff to Shadid. He cuts it up the middle, now out to the right, and he takes it into the end zone from 22 yards out. Shadid seems unstoppable here tonight. He's over 110 yards on the night for Peoria Notre Dame, and it's a 19-14 lead for PND over QHS. They're going to try again with this five-man line formation off to the right side. One man in the backfield, a personal protector. Now they'll swing it to the line and look for the traditional extra point. You might go for two here, go up a full touchdown, but right now it looks like Tishner for the extra point. The hold is good, the kick is up and good, and it's a 20-14 lead for Peoria Notre Dame with just 45 seconds to go. Breaking news, we have just been told that there is a 4-alarm fire in downtown Quincy. A 4-alarm fire in downtown Quincy. We know that personnel is responding right now. There is conjecture that it is an unoccupied building. We'll bring you more details as they unfold here on 103.9 The Fox. 45 seconds to go here at Flynn Stadium. Sean Secrease and Jim Hansen. Well, the Blue Devil defense had to defend for 65 seconds, and they gave up some huge plays, capped off by Shadid's 22-yard touchdown run.
Well, we're going to have to make some serious adjustments at halftime. Otherwise, we're in for a long night if we can't stop that offense. We only stopped them once.
22-yard touchdown rush by Shadid, and it's a 20-14 lead for Peoria Notre Dame at the half. Another touchback from Tishner, and the Blue Devils will have it. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Well, we're going to take a knee and take it to the house, or we're going to try something here with 46 seconds left.
I'd say you might as well go for it.
I tend to agree.
How about the first pass of the night? Show a power set on first down, go to the air on second down.
How many timeouts we got left? 2?
That'd be 2 timeouts left for the Blue Devils with 46 seconds to go. 1st and 10 out of the wing tee for the Devils. They're going to hand this one off and roll it to the near side with Unmasig. He cuts it back across the 20 to the 25. It'll be dropped there after a gain of 5. So the Blue Devils now trailing in this seesaw affair, 20-14. And this gain of 5 for Unmasig may be wiped out with a hold against the Devils. It will be. Devils, first holding penalty of the night. Bo Beecraft, our producer at the 103.9 The Fox studios, now reporting thick smoke rolling through downtown Quincy. Again, we've had a report of a 4-alarm fire in the downtown Quincy area, and the conjecture is that it is a now unoccupied building. We'll keep you up to date as those updates roll in. We'll also keep our eye on the rest of the Western Big Six. 38 seconds to go. Blue Devils are looking at 1st and 17 from their own 13 after the holding penalty, wiping out the game by Unmasig. Now you may just take a knee and take it into the locker room. Blue Devils out of the wing tee. They're going to keep it with Kirkard. Roll him to the far side. He throws it, and it is incomplete in the flat. He had 2 men wide open running parallel routes to the far side sideline, and Kirkard missed him by 15 yards. He was under heavy pressure from the defense. That bootleg never really developed.
No, it looked like a jailbreak instead of a bootleg. 6'3", 210-pound defensive lineman Vonachin for Peoria Notre Dame was in there and knocked Kirkard right on his backside. Yeah, you got 19 seconds here, 2nd down.
Devils come back to the line. Still 2nd and 17 from their own 13. They're going to go with a tailback now and spin it to Osborne. Looking for the home run hitter. He's around the 20 to the 25, out to the 30. That would be a first down. Let's see where he got squeezed along the sideline.
He's a little short.
Last touch for Osborne was a 65-yard touchdown, so you might as well line him up again and see if Wonder Boy can strike. They're going to force him out of bounds at the 28. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2 after the gain of 11 on the play. Osborne now 91 yards on 5 carries, including a 65-yard touchdown. Blue Devils trail 20-14, 13 seconds to go here in the first half. Wing T as they rush to the line. Cricard trying to draw the defensive PND offside. Now he calls the timeout. And the Blue Devils with 1 timeout to go and 13 seconds to work with at their own 28-yard line on 3rd and 2 here in the first half. Blue Devils are back on the road next week on 103.9 The Fox. We'll have it as QHS travels to Rock Island. The Rock Island Rocks.
Big game.
Yeah.
Do we play Alleman on the road too this year?
We have to go to Alleman. That game will be played at Augustana College.
Again.
And that comes up on the 27th.
The thought process here, you got 3rd and 2. You got 1 timeout left, but Peoria Notre Dame has 2. If you don't get it here, you're forced to punt. And you can expect an all-out blitz for the block.
QHS needs a critical 3 yards here just to keep this game where it is. You don't necessarily think about the points. Hand it off to Osborne. Osborne's not going to get it. He ran into a white wall at the 30-yard line and gets thrown back. He didn't get it, but the clock is going to run out on the first half. And Quincy High will go to the locker room trailing Peoria Notre Dame 20-14. QHS scored first, but Peoria Notre Dame able to rattle off the final touchdown of this first half to lead it 20-14 at the half.